Okay guys, so I'm live again. Apparently there were some issues, I'm still not 100% sure what was going on. But basically my ping with Boneng was fine, he is from Japan, and my ping with Shmras and Calvis was not good. They're also from Japan, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Anyway, someone suggested that I should just then restream Shmras for stream. So that's what I'm going to do now. I won't be observing then, I will be just watching Shmras stream, and I will just mute his sound here for now, so no game sounds, maybe a few if you heard the cannons on the background. Anyway, this is the series of Boneng versus Calvis. As you see up in the top there, Calvis just is up 1-0. He won the first game, which was Ottomans versus Great Plains versus Iroquois on Great Plains. And what we have here is French, I believe. I haven't checked the civilizations yet. Let me quickly see that when I get to the round. Anyway, it's the second map we played, of course, on Saguenay in this BO7. Regarding the map balance, it looks quite even. One advantage goes to Boneng with 2 more mines in the back, 2 more gold mines in the back. Calvis has his mines up front, but he has one first close, so anyway, that's quite okay. I think that is a French flag, yes, so he is playing French, and I believe that... Okay, that might be Russia. From Boneng, then it's French versus Russia. Of course, there are a couple of options here. Russia can go for water, as we all know. A good water boom is very strong on this map. On the other hand, Russia can also go for more of a forward blockhouse on land and then take map control from there. For the French, it's very likely to go for some raids, and given this big map, he will probably try to go for a semi-FF. So some raids with hussars into fortress, especially if the Russian guy is going for water, and there we see a dock being built. The thing that you then have to do is just age up, raid a little bit to prevent him from gathering resources, but in the back of it just make sure that you can get your cannons out and better units of the third age, such as the skirmish dragoon crochet composition that can really do well versus Russia. Because your musketeer and hussar mass will not be able to deal well with Russia in the second age if he can just mass strelets and musketeers versus you with some more defensive blockhouses. We see that their scout there is invisible from Calvis, so he will know about these docks, and of course Boneng doesn't know that he knows yet, because he can't see the scout right now. This sea is not as big as on, for example, New England, but it definitely has quite a lot of resources available to hold out for a very good time here on sea, with defensive blockhouse, of course, protecting the coast also from any ships that Calvis might ship from him. Both of them aged up by now. Normal time, Russia went for 14 villages there. Of course, you don't want to age with 17 in this case, even if you go so defensive, because you want to get your sea boom going as fast as possible. And he of course has some time now to first sneak in some boats and 2 docks before he has to build a blockhouse, because the French guy won't be on his doorstep anytime soon yet. Especially now the French guy scouted the sea, it's very unlikely that he will go for some kind of a rush, because it is just is a very good chance of just failing. I'm not sure what the French are doing at the moment. There we have it, a stable up indeed, so just some raids. We see that the French, by the way, has 4 ships. I believe Boneng had like 6 or 7. Of course, they matter quite a bit in the end. That's more for the French in this case, because of course Russia still has access to the whole sea and the resources there, so that means less walking time and of course fast income, hard to raid. So the ships matter a little bit less for him. That one Coureur de Bois that was saved earlier, I believe it was saved by Calvis, so that's a nice little bonus there. And there we have one defensive blockhouse from the Russian guy, of course nearest town center, just to make sure that you protect your base. And if you make your blockhouse too far out on the map when you are going for water, that would just be too risky, because the other guy then could take it out. And you actually are investing a lot in your water boom, and that means that you can't really make the units to protect your blockhouse. So there's no point making it too far out on the map if you go for a strategy like this. It looks like we have a third dock coming up here. On the same time, there's a raid also coming in, as you see on the minimap from Calvis. There you go. He had some musketeers out. In fact, if you make 5 or maybe max 10 musketeers, it is really enough. You don't need more. He is not really scouting, the French guy, but the thing is that you can always make another blockhouse or ship some concepts or strats if you really need some additional protection. And usually, if you play on this high level, you will also know that the other guy is expecting you to go water here. He discount it, although Boneng doesn't know about it, but he kind of can guess that water strategy is going on here, and it would just be silly to kind of suicide yourself with a hard rush here, because that's just very unlikely to succeed. Of course 5 hussars beat 5 musketeers, but the thing is that you don't want to take this trade usually, because he can just make 5 musketeers easily after it, and cost effectively you don't win, but you can win if you take it, if you could go for the pure numbers, like 5 hussars beat 5 musketeers, because of course you invested more resources. He tried to raid a little bit more, but now he's going back, and you see he's also building a tower there. That's just to secure the part of the water actually. And he's also going for 2 trading posts, so this looks like he did the 4 villages first, of course to make some cavalry, then probably 700 wood, and now it looks like he won't use the 700 coin, but has a lot of villages on coin, so I think he will just build the 2 trading posts for additional XP, not using the 700 coin, saving an additional shipment for the 3rd age, and just gathering all the resources because he knows he has a little bit more time. I would really like to see him age up with the fast option then, rather than, for example, the 6 skirmishers. Because if you delay yourself a little bit in this way, by shipping 700 food and getting a real good setup ready, the 2 trading posts, and maybe even a barracks soon, then you will delay your age up a little bit. So then I would like to see you age up with a fast option, so that your cannons won't come out that late, so that you can really start to put on some pressure as soon as you are in the 3rd age. Because if you wait too long, then the Russian mass, which will include musketeers, strelets, but also Cossacks at a later point, will just be too much for you to deal with, even if you have cannons. He's also shipping to caravels, as you see there. He of course has still the frigate available. That means he doesn't save his shipment for the 3rd age, but chooses to apply some pressure already. I think that's actually quite good, because you want to limit the Russian guy in resources. Because all the time that you're aging up and maybe waiting for your frigate of the 3rd age, that means of course that if you see there, around 20 boats will be able to gather from the Russian guy all the time continuously with the additional card, and that is quite a lot of resources that the Russian guy gets. So if you can poke in a little bit, I would really like to see him going in again actually, to be honest, or really, for example, post here on the right side of this of where the boats are gathering, so that he's out of range of the dog fire, but that he can still just poke in a little bit with the range of the boats onto the fishing ships. Market going up there, of course. You have the trickle, you have the wood crates. You don't really need the market that early. He has to be careful there, because the boats got attacked by the boats, the fishing boats hiding in the dock there, and they of course have quite a nice range. That's why I would really like to see him moving a little bit more around the right side of this lake actually. And Boneng aged up also. Okay, he did that quite fast, and this is going to be really, really hard. Very nice choice from him. Sometimes we see that the Russian, or actually any guy is going for sea, but in particular Russia, goes for a little bit more of a heavier sea boom to get really the sea spam out. However, he saw, no, I don't think he saw the tower, but he saw the 2 ships, so he might be thinking like, okay, maybe I should just stop here, gather close to my, or relatively close to my docks, and age up. And now he has the frigate out, as you see there, which is going to be able to deal with these 2 caravels. But of course they have to hide to the lower side of his lake and be protected by the tower, as they are doing now. The hussars are trying to deal with the musketeers there on the left side. But because Boneng aged up, he now has access to his upgraded units, veteran musketeers, which do very nicely, of course, for his hussars, and also cuirassiers, which is going to be mixed in later. But also he has access to his frigate, as you see, to get control of the sea again, and also access to cannons. However, on the right side we see that Calvis now shipped 2 cannons, not being used yet. I'm not sure what's going on there. He should be really targeting them. We see now that the frigate is targeting its cannons, and that is very nice. Would that be just out of range? I'm not sure actually, but it could be that the ship is barely out of range, and that's why the cannons might be kind of stuck in his animation or not able to shoot move. However, Boneng was able to kill one of these cannons, so that's a good job there. Of course, the frigate is really, really strong, and it is definitely able to kill a cannon, so anytime you can do so. And this other cannon, by the way, has 1/3 of his HP down also. So anytime you can kill a cannon with your ships, frigate or caravels, it's always a good choice, even if you lose some HP. And in fact, I would even argue that it's probably worth, if you have water control, to sacrifice a frigate to kill 2 cannons if you have to, because you can then use your 2 cannons as well, and later get control of the sea with all the resources that you gather, and just build a frigate of your own, or a blockhouse in the back or something like that. So Calvis is now pushing in here, interestingly taking out the house first rather than aiming at the blockhouse with his cannon. And we see of course that the hussars and the dragoon is staying in the back, while the skirmishers are trying to poke in a little bit, picking off any musketeer they can, because there are no Cossacks on the map at this point, so that means that you can just walk in freely there. By now, by the way, 3 trading posts for Calvis. I'm not sure if the third one is going up or if it's up already, but you see in the middle there that his hero is near a trading post, and there we have more skirmishes coming in, of course. I'm quite surprised that Boneng hasn't added a stable yet, because if you see this, there are only a few stars available. If you take them out with your town center and your blockhouse, you would probably be able to do some kind of a surround or maybe a surprise with Cossacks from the back. The frigate, of course, is being healed when it's near the docks. Oh, there have Manchu popping out. Of course, Manchu are really strong dragoons, and they will also be able to deal with the cannon. So he will clean this up for sure there. And yeah, now you see also Calvis putting back. He has only a few skirmishes left, but the rest that he has is not really the best to deal with his dragoons, so he is just going back for now. And actually that means this game, even though the score is a little bit ahead for Calvis, he's 20 points ahead or so, I would definitely give the advantage still to Boneng because of this strong sea that he has and the resources he can spend in a really strong army for now. However, there is still of course one frigate now shipped by Calvis and the caravel. So that means that the caravel will be taken out. It's not microed back. That's a little bit unfortunate there. That means that there's now a frigate versus frigate war, and that is the first shot goes off by Boneng. That means that he will be able to win this war if Calvis doesn't pull his boat back to his tower. And there you have some operates coming in, of course, very nice. If you have control over the water, you don't have that much control over land, so you always want to try to make sure that you raid a lot on the French guy. And of course, operations are the best choice for that. Or a good choice at least, very good choice here. This is a very close fight between the two ships. Oh, it looks like the boat of Boneng has lower HP. Perhaps Boneng used his, how you say it, kind of the crack shot for the boat, the broadside attack, already on the caravel, and that means that Calvis was able to use it on the frigate, and thereby he probably got a little advantage. But we see that Boneng made a new frigate there, and now he is able to kill the frigate of Calvis. And of course, Calvis is now run out of shipping any ships, because he has used both his cards in the second and the third age, and of course he hasn't built any dock yet, so he can't really fight Boneng on land. He is trying to push in again on land near his town center, killing off 1 or 2 villages there, 2 I believe. And Boneng just waiting. I would really like him to hide his optics. Sorry, to hide your optics, because you kind of show what you might be going for, and that means that you will only alert your opponent more about possible optics or raids coming in. So maybe building an additional tower, town center, what you see now in the middle of the map coming up there. What he really needs now is some straddles, I would say cannons, or there we saw cannons being shipped right before we the screen switch, and another town center there near the water to protect it. Of course, this 2 cannon shipment with some musketeers as you saw in the back, and also the option to still pop Midman, I believe. He hasn't used it yet, I think, not 100% sure. Will deflect this push from Calvis. So for now he has to wait for really to mixing in some crochets. But as you see now, he is actually going for quite a nice boom. He has 4 trading posts. We start with a horizontal trading post line. And not 4 but 5 trading posts are available. And you see that Calvis now has already 4 of them. Of course he probably has them upgraded, I haven't seen it yet, but that means that he will just have a very nice TP income there as well. And he's also of course booming in the back of this from his main town center, but also adding a second town center and even adding a trading post, as Shmras points out now. So that means that he will also be able to, I think that is the Coureur de Bois trading post, the Cree one, so he will make additional Coureur de Bois, and that means that of course you will have another economic boost to your play there. So again, by the way guys, this is a restream, because of some issues I'm watching Shmras stream now, and just giving you an English narrator, English commentator here. A saloon comes up for Boneng. Of course, if you... Oh, that's unlucky. I'm not sure he wasn't paying attention, but he will lose both his cannons. Very nice from Calvis to snipe in, kind of coming in from the back, but a little bit sloppy by Boneng actually, to just allow Calvis to come in like that and not see it on time, because you have Townsend line of sight, wall line of sight. You should have definitely responded faster to this. Now he lost both his cannons, but still that's not really a problem. I mean, losing your cannon sucks, but the score as you see there, not sure. Actually, the score is just quite close, but still I would give the advantage to Boneng just because of the strong wall that he has available. However, he really lost his opportunity to push out now, because he has no more cannons, and that means that it's really hard for him to deal with the skirmisher mess. So very good job by Calvis just to be active on the map and try to poke in when you can. What I wanted to say is the saloon was being built. And that means that He can, of course, use all his coin that he gathers on the sea, which is an infinite resource for him, to make units from the saloon. And there we have an operator coming in. I think we missed the first one, but this is the second, I believe. But he can make units from his gold there, from the saloon. That's a nice way of converting your gold into use for units. I believe you have Highlanders available and Manchus. So that's actually both very nice as Russia, because one weakness is versus the skirmisher dragoon composition. Skirmisher crochet, sorry. Mainly the crochet with their pretty decent attack, area damage and a lot of HP. And if you then have a very good anti-cavalry unit such as the Highlander, or maybe even the Manchus combined with Strelets, you will have a definite good option to deal with the French composition there. Oh, and you can also make Stradios, as you see there. These are very good cavalry, worth they cost coin as well, also from the saloon, but they are very good for his skirmishes with like 56 attack or something. So there you see he's now working on all these skirmishes. He killed all the skirmishes. Now the Manchus are also being focused on the dragoons there, and actually Calvis caught a little bit off guard there, because he should have not been so far out on the map, or at least have another scout there already. But he is calling a good game there. He probably knows that it's just so hard to deal with a good sea boom like this, and even Boneng having 2,000 centers up, so booming villages from 2,000 centers as well. And there you see it. He has like 9,000 resources more compared to Calvis. So that is really something you look at this, the village count, how fast it goes up, and how actually the decision was very nice of him to just go for a relative fast fortress with the sea boom in the back of this, and then still booming a little bit while you're aged up, but then having access to some of the third age units from the saloon as well, but also your shipment like the Manchus and your cannons, of course, as well. So that makes it 1-1 now between these two guys. The rest of the first game, the result was 1-0 for Boneng. Obviously he won then with 1-0 for Calvis. He won with Ottomans versus Iroquois. Okay, so I will just be waiting here for the second stream. I could do another test, but it doesn't look the best, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. ダメです。ということは君の試合、OK。
Okay, so it's not looking good there still. Not sure what's going on there, to be honest, because actually I usually never have issues with my my internet, and I was always green to these guys in Japan, and actually I was still green to Boneng, but however I was not green versus Shmras, so not sure there. Yeah, that's indeed a good thing that Mike Desu points out there. Boneng definitely has some very good water options, like Russia on water, India on water, as we've seen before in one of my previous streams. And that means that he will have an advantage in these water maps. And Ottomans on water as well, by the way, on the England, we've seen it all. So water maps are definitely an advantage for him compared to what Calvis plays, kind of based on the playstyle and the civilizations that they play. I believe Calvis is also really a guy that goes more like for a fast fortress or something with Ottomans. Rather than, for example, a water boom. It looks like we are gonna have a Ottoman versus Spain here. That is interesting.
グググ。じゃあフラン。あ、これ OK です。ボネングインドってフレイルだ。マジで。
Okay, so we are going to go into the third game here. That is going to be my Japanese not the best. So it was Ottomans versus Spain, if they haven't changed anything. Third game, of course, going to be played on Siberia. Keep in mind, guys, I am still restreaming this. I'm just providing English commentary for you guys and some English, of course, insight into the game and the strategies and the playstyles. We have French here, so Calvis went for French, while Boneng has 2 explorers, so that means that he's not going for Spain, but that means that he's probably going for either India or Japan. They both have 2 explorers. French starting with 1 woodcut, as you see there, so he can still go for mark. It's quite standard. Okay, Boneng is India. So India versus French here on Siberia as a third game. It is a BO7 of this PK TAD tournament. My name is Venividivici, just restreaming Shmras stream at the moment because of some issues with the ping apparently. Actually, can be a nice game this, but of course India is quite strong, and on this map they do have some time to get their units out, and they can even go for a semi-FF or similar thing as well as the French probably wants to do. Because of the optional aggro fort that India guy has to age up with, it's really hard to push into it early on, especially as French. So what we probably will see is a third age play here for both guys. Maybe a little bit of a rush from Boneng to secure a little bit of the map, but that would not be the best option probably versus French. Of course, you have the villages, 8 crossbowmen available if it's really needed, and etc. And of course a defensive tower by both. We see now that Boneng will pick up that 110 wood treasure, very nice on Siberia, and especially of course for India, because as you might know by now, India is a little bit different from other civilizations. First of all, they need wood to train their villages instead of food. Also, they can't gather from sheep, for example, as we see on Saguenay sometimes, but they can gather XP from sheep. So they can't kill them for food, but they definitely benefit from them. The more sheep they get, the faster they get their XP, and of course the faster they just get their cards out and can either rush harder or have a better boom behind it. One house is placed very interesting there behind the trees. You still can get a surround on that to kill it, but not sure why it's there. Maybe just a little bit random. Sometimes you have to quickly build a house somewhere when you're busy with other things, like on a treasure guardian or something. I also want to point out, by the way, that this is a match that you can bet on. Or actually could have bet on. I'm probably a little bit late now. For the betting system organized by Goodspeed. Because the match started, I think it's not possible to bet on it anymore, but in fact you can bet on any match from now since the quarterfinals. So you can also bet on the match of Goodspeed versus Shmras, which will happen later this afternoon. That is EU time, of course, European time. I believe most people bet on Boneng, but I saw an interesting comment there out from someone that suggested Boneng is sometimes a little bit risky to bet on regarding heavy scores, as in 4-1, 4-0. He is definitely a very good player, but he sometimes likes to mix up a little bit randomly, as we saw in the first game. It was actually not streamed by me, but then he went for kind of a little bit of a silly push there and kind of threw his army away. But he is a definitely very good player, and I also think that he will be able to take this series. He should be. However, Calvis is also very good, but I would give the advantage a little bit to Boneng. We see that he's aging up not with the aggro fort there, he's aging up with, it looks like the tower, or maybe it is the Carnimata, I'm not sure. It's always hard to tell from here when you see the similar square of these wonders. Of course the aggro fort is very big square, but the other ones are very similar. Except for the Mansabla gate, but that's not something he's going to use to age up to the second age, of course. The scout there is in position by Calvis, of course. Again, scout in stealth mode, just to be able to scout the base of Boneng without him knowing that you're scouted. Of course, he can still expect it because you are French after all. You have a scout available, so it should be used somewhere on the map if you play a high-level game such as this. But he doesn't know exactly where it is, and that is always an advantage to you. Also, if you want to see raids coming in later, of course, or for example to see what kind of army composition your opponent is going for. And that's why actually you always should use your explorers and keep scouting around the map, also trying to keep an explorer with your army to make sure that if you are walking past a scout you will definitely kill it off, so that at least you will have a little bit of a payback there. If he sees your army he will lose his scout. You see also that there's markets coming up there by Boneng, so he will definitely go for the more economic build there. Probably a more economic setup into a third age, it's what I expect. And Calvis posting nearby a trading post, meaning that he might want to go for a trading post again. Okay, it is the Kanimata indeed, so that is definitely the most economic build from here. The Kanimata is a wonder that gives you an additional boost for villagers that are gathering in a certain radius around them. It's hard to point it out without me having the mouse, but it's like actually almost fitting on this screen. It's a little bit smaller the resolution than I usually use if I stream, but it will give all the villagers in that area, as you see here now. You have this square, you have this square, it's a circle around them. They all will be now boosted by about 10% in their gathering rate. So it's like an economic theory card that European civilizations have, that the Indians get with aging up with this wonder. And in addition to that, you also have, as you see there, an additional crates from your hometown city to boost your economy even more. And that will also allow you to get a nice consulate up quick and early. For, of course, for example, the Ottoman consulate, additional line of sight, but most importantly, 3 villagers or some hussars if you need it later on. French guy of course, has made a market. I'm not seeing anything like a stable yet. He's going for a trading post. He might even go for some kind of a fast fortress it looks like that. He made a trading post from the 400 wood, and maybe he's just gonna age up straight. But then, of course, you still need 700 wood. For example, during the transition, that could be an option. So when you age up, you want to age as soon as possible. But when you age up, you will get the 700 wood shipment out. Maybe at the second trading post, some houses, and of course, the better setup ready for your stable. And actually, you need a Rex as well later on versus India. So you definitely need some wood. You can of course also chop it all, but gathering wood, 400 wood gathering, that will take quite some time. There the consulate coming up as expected. And you see that this radius from this Kanimata is actually quite big. It indeed does fit on the screen. So even the villagers that are going to be herding food there on the left side should be barely. He shot it away, but I think they should be barely still in this range of this Kanimatas. Like over here, he has to herd it back towards town center. Then it'll definitely be okay. You see, this villager still has a circle around it, so it still is being boosted. Scores pretty similar. That's of course expected at this point. Nothing really happened so far. A few treasures here and there. We saw that the Boneng had the 110 wood treasure, very nice for him. Basically free villager. But we see that Calvis has rescued 2 monkeys, and by the way, left side there we see that he shipped the 700 wood. So I think he's aging up. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's aging up 700 wood just to get a good setup ready, because a good setup is very important so that you can keep gathering the faster resources for which you also did the upgrades. That is, of course, food and gold. And that you can then have your good setup ready, the barracks and the stable and the houses, to then really spam from there as soon as you reach the 3rd age. We saw that Calvis was also working on that XP treasure on the right bottom side of his map, just picking off the tigers one by one with his explorer crack shot. And when he really gets it, probably in a minute or so, he will have, I believe it's 360 HP. Meanwhile, we have Calvis, Boneng, sorry, missing it up there, who is now working on that treasure, and that is, I believe, a 30% boost to your hero hit points. And that is very nice for India, of course. When he is in the 2nd age, he can definitely get that treasure. 2 elephants can both stun, that's kind of paralyze the treasure guardians. And yeah, my Japanese is not that good, but I see 30%, and of course I can read numbers. That means indeed the 30% hero hit point bonus. We see that Boneng is aging up. From the looks of it, and also from my knowledge from India, it is going to be the Taj Mahal. That is one of the 7 world wonders, I believe, guys. Very nice, but it is going to be used here to provide another wonder, and that is going to be the 4th age. Of course, this wonder has the ability to do the ceasefire option, and that is a 15 or 20 second window, maybe I think it's 15, where no player can attack each other. Things like towers and forts and town center fire still works, but units can't attack each other. And there you see, by the way, that he just got the 360 XP, Calvis it is. But anyway, the Taj Mahal will have him, sorry, he's not going to age up to the that is the 3rd age wonder, not the 4th age, sorry. So he will age up to the 3rd age with the Taj Mahal, and then of course you will get a lot of coin as well. So it might even be some kind of a 4th age play, but that is a little bit weird, because it could be very risky if Calvis is going to push out with skirmish dragoons and cannons in the 2nd age. However, it gives you a lot of gold as well, and that's of course can be used to age up to the 4th age and then spam Yurumis from there. Yurumi shipments are very nice. They do very good versus musketeers, but also pretty good versus skirmishers as well, because they just come close and have a good ranged resistance, and of course have a lot of HP. So there you have the gold. I really have to see what Boneng is gonna do here. In a tournament like this, you often see very standard play, like the best BOs being used because they are safest, proven best, etc. However, sometimes a kind of new strategy, a little bit of a surprise, can definitely win you a game, because sometimes the players play so much with these kind of standard strategies that if you come with some kind of a surprise and do something a little bit weirder, you might catch them off guard in their timings, and that can work. And we see now there indeed the 4th wonder is being placed on the left side. I believe it probably is the Mansabda gate, could also be the tower. Tower of Victory, it of course gives you a lot of wood, but it also gives you the ability to increase your combat, similar to the war dances from the warchief civilizations, that will boost your unit attack in battle for like 30-20 seconds or something like that. I think 20 seconds. Anyway, he is aging up, and we see that Calvis is indeed pushing in with the skirmish dragoon composition and the 2 cannons as expected, taking out the market in a house now. If he goes for the Mansabda gate, he will get 2 Mahouts when he ages up. I believe it's 1 Mahout to the 3rd age, so I think it's 2 or maybe even 3 to the 4th age. Oh, there's a Tower of Victory, okay. Okay. Then I'm really interested to see what he's going to do here. Of course, the Taj Mahal did allow him to age up fast, as I explained. You get a lot of gold from it as soon as you age up with it. Similar to what European civilizations get when they get resources from the age up. But also the Indians, of course, get always an ability with their wonders as well. Same with actually every Asian civilization. There's always an ability that you get as a bonus. So there we have it. There's a lot of wood near a town set. I'm not sure how much. I think it's around 800 or maybe 1200 even. So love that you invested in the aging up to the 4th age, you will also get back. So what he has now is the option to still ship the Mahouts. Of course he can make something from his stable, but that stable is going to be taken out if I would be Calvis. And also he has the option to still use his consulate and use, for example, the musketeer shipment or maybe even the cannon one. I think he doesn't have enough export for that quite yet, but he will also have the, of course, Yurumi shipment available, which will definitely almost be able to just deal with this whole army, except for the 3 cuirassiers that are now going to be mixed in together with the 3 cuirassiers already, because Yurumis are quite good for his musketeers, actually very good, and actually pretty decent as well for his skirmishers. There we have the Yurumis coming out, but for his cuirassiers they are not the best. As you see over there, cuirassiers have area damage, they have a good attack, and as you see here, the cannons are also still shooting on the Yurumis. The town center is being made by Boneng there on the right top, but you see that these Yurumis are actually dying quite fast. Of course, musketeers in the back are still pretty good, because Yurumis are really a counter unit to musketeers, but that is only when they get close to musketeers. And musketeers still have a very good base damage, so if the musketeers are in the back, they will still deal a pretty nice damage for the Yurumis, combined with the dragoons and skirmishers in the back and the cuirassiers just blocking the Yurumis from getting close to any unit. Calvis dealt with that pretty good. And now you see that Boneng casted this ceasefire ability. There's 1 second left. He finishes his town center. Now he has 2 town center fire available, and still, by the way, 2 Minutemen available. So what he can still do is wait for his next shipment and combine that with the 2 Minutemen from both his town centers and the musketeers you see on the left top, and then try to take out this army, and especially the cannons. However, you see more cuirassiers coming in, dragoons as well, being idle there a little bit, probably forgotten by Calvis, just busy on focusing on his army. And that wood that he got from the age up with the tower is just used for building a town center. You see another one on the right top there being built as well by Boneng. He's gonna lose this one, however, and looks quite grim for him, because how is he gonna deal with this? He really needs something versus these cuirassiers, but the problem is if he ships, for example, the Haudas, that's like the really very strong dragoon for the... that is the inspiration ability, I believe, that he casts with the tower. And there we have another Yurumi shipment popping out, musketeers being used. However, no Minutemen still. I really don't like it that he's not using his Minutemen. He really can use an extra army booster. But it looks like he's not going to be able to deal with this still. The town center is firing on a cannon. It looks like the cannon will now be taken out, as you see there. 1 cannon left. But as I was saying, the howdahs can be used. Finally, we have Minutemen, but now the Minutemen for fighting alone. The Minutemen should be really put out on your town center at the same time when you have your army fighting, because now you see they die just instantly. With cuirassiers and skirmishes in the back, just no turns there. However, he still has another town center available, so the game is not completely over, but I would say that as soon as he loses this town center with the villages inside and some villages around there, he will not be able to really come back from this. He can get some army out, but that's just not enough. I would really have liked to see him going for a third age play rather than going for this really risky fourth age play, because Calvis probably has played this matchup several times already, and then you just know that if the Indian guy is going for the fourth age, the only really thing that he can bring to you is Yurumis. And while Yurumis are very nice, as soon as you mix in cuirassiers and really block these Yurumis from getting to the rest of your army, they're just not gonna do that much, and they're gonna die pretty fast, as you saw there in the stream. So it's not really the best option. And like I was saying, you can ship these howdahs, which are like really OP goons. The problem is that you only get a few of them, and even the cuirassiers in melee mode versus them, just close attack, will deal with these howdahs pretty okay. But the main thing is that there are a lot of skirmishes and dragoons in the back, so even if you kill 1 or 2 cuirassiers, which you definitely will with these howdahs with their crazy 100 times 3 attack or so, you will die pretty fast versus these skirmishes and dragoons in the back from Calvis as well. So yeah, well played by Calvis to put on this pressure like this and mixing in the cuirassiers. Not many do that. If you stick to skirmish and dragoon, in this case, then it would be very likely that Calvis would have lost the game, because then your Yurumis would really completely own this skirmish dragoon composition with some units in the back, because the problem is Yurumis have range resistance, and of course skirmish dragoons have ranged attack, pretty decent but not good melee attack. But as soon as the Yurumis come close with their area damage, it's going to be really hard for the skirmish to deal with them, because Yurumis also have quite a lot of HP, so they won't be easily taken down. So yeah, good job there. Calvis taking it 2-1 so far. And quite a surprise. Yeah, this is this weird kind of player that Boneng sometimes brings up. He's definitely a very good player, but not sure what he is trying to do here at the moment. Because in my opinion, it's a very risky play versus French. As I said, if the French plays it correctly, which he actually did now, then you just won't be able to deal with it very well. Yeah, indeed, Yumi. Boneng is just sometimes a player that goes for all these weird kind of things, and not just for the standard easy win, so to say, or easy. How should I say it? Easy. Not easy, but the more standard, safer play, I should say. I believe he doesn't have to change civilization, so I'm not sure what he is going for there. You can play French quite twice in a row if you want to, and also he didn't win because Russia won on Saguenay with Russia, of course, versus French. Yeah, indeed, Yumi. I also have a bet on 4-2, so let's see if Boneng can still take this all the way. He's now gonna play Ottomans on New England, and as we have seen before, by the way, let me quickly point out to you guys, while there might be some issues, if you go to youtube.com/Venividivici, you see it there on my screen, there you will have all the videos that I streamed from this PK Clan tournament. They are in a playlist here, as you see over here. And you can just skip through this and pick up any nice one that you want. Oh, actually, this is the playlist, sorry, this one. And you can watch all the videos in every quality that you like. So far, there were some stream issues, so I will just be still restreaming Shmras here, in fact. And the cast here in English for you guys, so you have the stream available, but don't have to deal with Japanese at this point. Of course, English is probably preferred then. So third map, the third map is not. Oh, sorry, we had a fourth map, New England. Yes, fourth map, because we had 3 games so far. Siberia being the last. Calvis is currently up 2-1 to Boneng. The colors are still okay. I see there. Yes. Best of 7. So the first one getting 4 wins will win the series. New England, as I was saying actually on my stream, you can check it out. Boneng versus Salento, and actually some other games as well. Boneng really loves to go on water here with his Ottomans versus everything actually. There is still the option to go for a Abus gun Janissary pressure with water. or a fast fortress. I mean, Ab's gun pressure in normal way with the trading post boom, or a fast fortress, but he's not Shmras. He likes to go for a more second age stuff with either trading post boom or water boom, and I really expect the water boom here, but we have to see how it plays out. Of course, as French, I know that Calvis likes his French a lot and he plays it quite good as well. However, as French it's really hard to deal with Ottomans. They have, as I said, the trading post boom available. As you see, there are 4 trading posts all relatively close to each other. That means your XP is coming in quite fast. Also, you have the option to go water, which Ottomans can do very well with some defense, and then just really spamming the shit out of you. And there we have it, an early dock, and very nice, it was scouted by Calvis right away. And that means that Calvis actually has a few options available. Scouting this dock so early means that the Ottomans is going for the schooner card rather than the 3 villager card. And that means that he's going for the sea boom right away. That will delay his age up a little bit, but only just by a little bit, so not that much actually. But yeah, what can Calvis do from here? You might say he want to rush. Yeah, he can rush. The problem is, if you rush into the town center, he still has the sea available to get a lot of resources, so he doesn't really need his villages. And you have to keep in mind, Ottomans doesn't need to train villages, they don't cost food or wood. The villages, you get them for free, so he doesn't really have to invest in them and still gets the villages, so he can still use his town center fire, get a little bit on the berries or on the coin mine while he is under pressure, while at the same time he still has, of course, the whole sea available to gather resources from there. So if Calvis would, for example, go for the docks, he will need some time to take out the docks, and by that time Boneng definitely has, for example, like 10, maybe 15 boats out already. By the time that Calvis completely destroyed the docks, and then Calvis finds himself in a position that he is able to take out the 1 or 2 actually at the time docks of, not dog but ducks. Oh, he's gonna take it. Okay, Calvis takes it. Then Calvis will be able to take out the docks, but then he has the problem that Boneng still has his town center, probably a wreck up, has still the boats, and of course boats can still gather resources without a dock. So you invested a lot in a rush, but your setup then is quite worse compared to your opponent. And that means that you might have done some damage, but the question is what you will do from there. And that is just really the problem that you face on a map like this versus a heavy water civilization like Ottoman. So we'll have to see what Calvis goes for. Maybe it's still going to be some kind of fast fortress with the trading post. Actually, that is something I would like to see. Going for a trading post knowing that your opponent is delayed a little bit, going for the fast sea boom. And then spam shipments in the 3rd age, the 2 cannons, guard them very well, and spam shipments of skirmisher, mixing in some cuirassiers if he goes Ab's guns, else just go for skirmisher, dragoon and cannons, and maybe even just make additional cannons after the 2 that you can ship. So, yeah, I didn't see that treasure was picked up. Actually, I believe it was like 80 food or something. I can't. I saw the number of 80, and knowing that there were bears, it should be 80 food. But I'm not able to read Japanese, of course. There we have 40 XXX. That is probably going to be 40 coin. I believe there are 30 food treasures here. So, oh no, 40 XP. There's a 40 XP treasure as well. There is still 1 tomahawk there, no one picking it up yet, just some basic scouting going on. Of course both of them, okay, Calvis is going for it, but Boneng has definitely scouted it, I believe, so he knows that he's working on the treasure, but he is not gonna go for it. We see 2 villagers gonna go forward, so there might indeed be some kind of a rush coming up from Calvis, but he really has to make sure that he's gonna do enough damage, because a little bit of damage is just not gonna cut it. Of course Boneng is likely to make a Rex. And of course has the option to ship 3 hussars and 5 janissaries, and also of course if Calvis is really going for the docks, if he goes for a dock, then Boneng also has the option to ship the 2 caravels to protect his docks, and that of course is really hard to deal with unless you have 2 caravels of your own. But that of course is going to delay your shipment because he has no trading post. That means that if you ship 2 caravels because you want to really take out the docks of Boneng, then you will not have as strong as a rush, because you would otherwise, for example, ship a card like wood if you go for crossman pike rush. Well, that's not the best here probably, but or if you go, for example, for villagers or additional hussars with 8 crossmen or whatever. One Rex is coming up there, and a second Rex is coming up. So we have to see in the hometown of Calvis what he's doing. You see that Boneng very nicely is scouting. Boneng also sees no villagers on gold. That means that there is probably an expo pike rush coming in. And what you see there is Boneng is walling his docks there, so that Calvis doesn't have a way to get to these docks, and thus he can't really siege them until he takes down the walls. And of course, taking down a wall, as we all know, is something really impossible at this point in the game. There are just so much HP; it will take years for them to go down. So very nice response by Boneng there. He is shipping 700 wood, of course, to just boost his sea boom there, and a Rex behind to just get some units out. If you get enough Janissaries, they will still be able to deal with the crossbowmen, because they just have so much HP, just crazy. Of course, crossbowmen counter musketeers like Janissaries, but you really need a good mess with them if you have too few crossbowmen out at some point. Especially if, for example, Boneng does Minutemen at the right time, combined with 3 hussar shipment and Janissaries that he made, then he will definitely be able to deal with his army, I would say. So Calvis will not be able to deal with the docks at this point because of the wall, so he's definitely going straight for a town center. But it looks like, yes, he's also walling the town center, so that means just a complete wall off here by Boneng, just delaying Calvis as much as he can. He still has 1 or 2 options to sneak around from the left or right sides there, but this wall that he made, it was on purpose there. You see that, of course, it was on purpose, but I mean, the position there is not close to his town center. It's not really it's really to protect the town center from any sieging, and the wall on the right side is really to just make the path to his town center and Rex even more. But the thing is, if you make the wall like this, the crossmen behind this wall are out of range to siege the town center, so they have to walk all the way around to really get in range to siege anything. Of course, it delays him quite a lot. It gives you more time. It will also give you more time with the town center to shoot at these units. There you have Janissaries popping out, of course, immediately being put in melee mode versus these crossbowmen. Sorry. And there you have Minutemen popping out also. And that means with the Janissaries in melee mode slowing down the crossbowmen, these Minutemen will definitely be able to do a good job shooting at them. And there we have Minutemen being slowed down by the hero in melee mode. But I would really like Boneng to see to leave 1 Minuteman behind and let the other 4 move faster to forward. Because of course a unit that's being attacked is going to be slowed down, and you also want to use your fire optimal as possible, so you want with the other 4 to run after the expos. Anyway, that was deflected by Boneng while his Seaboom is still going nicely. New pikemen is being made, of course, to try to seize these Rex. However, since he dealt with all the expos, the Janissaries are still alive, and they will of course be able to deal with the pikemen. And that means that actually this rush kind of fails from now. Yeah, it's really going downward, because what can you do? You can age up in the back of this, but then you are really behind. You can keep making crossman pikemen as he is doing now, but you're not really accomplished that much, and soon Boneng will also have a 3 hussar shipment available if he chooses to. I believe he only made the Janissaries, he didn't even ship them, so he really went for the really heavy sea, shipping a 700 wood schooners card, and of course early on. And maybe he also shipped the resource gathering card, and now he's going for not hussars but Abyss guns. Of course, actually Abyss guns is a really nice choice. If you have hussars, then you have the option to kind of get trapped with a lot of crossmen and pikemen that your Janissaries might not be able to deal with yet. However, if you add Abyss guns, you will be able to outrange any unit from the French at this point. They can make musketeers and crossbowmen, both have 12 and 16 range respectively, and that means that your Abyss guns with 18 range, being OP already, can even benefit from their 2 range advantage compared to crossbowmen, and will just really annihilate this whole army. Then Calvis has 2 options left, one of them being adding hussars. That's not going to be the easiest thing with the kind of not the best economy that he has in the back of this. And the other option is gonna go for a Fortress H. He really scouted the artillery foundry now, so he has he knows his options. There we have another Janissaries popping out, going in melee mode right away to just slow down these crossbowmen, while the other Janissaries in the back can still fire at it. Janissaries, a lot of HP, still good base damage, so if you get in range of crossbowmen, then you will definitely do a good job with the Janissaries. And Minutemen also in the back of this. I would really like Calvis to pick out these Minutemen, but I'm not doing the best job in micro, although it's very hard to really pick off the Minutemen. You don't want to use all your crossbowmen on Minutemen because they only have 1 HP left. That's kind of waste of fire. So then you want to use 1 crossbowman on 1 Minuteman, 1 crossbowman on the other, etc. But it's really going to be very micro intensive. But what I was saying is that the crossbows really counter musketeers, but you also have to make sure that you keep out of range, so you really use your range optimally, 16 compared to 12 musketeers, to really do the damage. But as soon as you are in range, then the Janissaries with their base attack do still a pretty decent job at killing crossbowmen with their low HP. And there you see that he now mixed in 2 Abyss guns, and with the range that he has, he can just keep microing, as you see there. He got a few shots off there, Calvis it is, but yeah, if Boneng micros correctly, and especially if he gets like 4 more, 5 more Abyss guns out, then the 7 Abyss guns is really gonna be destroying that army completely. Crossbowmen have 100 HP, that means 3 shots, 1 crossbowman is dead. And we saw that Boneng also shipped his 2 galleys, that is just to be sure to protect himself from anything rushing into the docks or any ships that Calvis might ship there. Of course, 2 caravels from the French will take out 2 galleys. However, if you start it off right and if you micro it right. However, Boneng of course has the option to fight near his docks, and there he can also use the dock fire with the boats in it, and then of course he will win versus 2 caravels. So that means that kind of shipping 2 caravels for Calvis is not the best option at this point either. So what is he doing? We see that the coin is being shipped there, so he's definitely going to age up, and maybe he can ship a frigate then, and for example go to 2 cannons. But he has no trading post. He used quite a lot of shipments already for this rush, which actually just failed, as you see there. That means that if he ships the frigate, he has no cannons available. That means that Boneng will be able to make 2 more ships, use the 2 galleys that he already has and use the dock fire, and then make ships and just deal with the frigate like that. And of course he has more time on land by messing a good Abyss gun Janissary measure, maybe even aging up. If Calvis ships the 2 cannons, it means that he can't really pressure the sea, and of course it allows Boneng to even benefit more from the sea, longer, boom more, etc. And actually, to be honest, if Calvis even ships the 2 cannons, Boneng is just making a lot of Abyss guns here, and if you have enough Abyss guns in enough mass, then Abyss guns will do quite okay versus 2 cannons as well. That means that Calvis really needs something like cuirassiers in front to really block the Abyss guns from getting close to the cannons. Otherwise, he's just gonna lose his cannons to Abyss guns fire. Of course, Abyss guns quickly there, 40 ranged attack, 40 siege ranged attack. That means that no unit has resistance to them, not even crossbowmen, not even cannons. So 40 times 6, 7 actually 7 shots takes out a. No, sorry, wait a second. 8 times, yeah, 7 times 4 is 28. So 7 shots takes out the cannon. He is mixing in hussars. He's not going for a 3rd age. He opts to go for the push here. Interesting, but actually I don't think it's the best option. However, from this on it was already kind of a failed rush, so probably game over already. You can age up in the back, but then of course you waste some time, like I just explained with the frigate and the cannon options. And you see that Boneng shipped 600 coin, I believe, or 700 coins. So with all the resources that he has from sea, he will be able to age up himself even, and that means that he will soon have access to 2 cannons, and also of course access to the additional shipments. Of course you have a lot of coin available, so he can even ship the Mamelukes, 2 cannons, upgrade Janissaries, upgrade Abyss guns, etc. We see that now Calvis shipped his 2 caravels nonetheless. That means if he is out so far on the sea, he will be able to deal with these 2 galleys. However, that means, okay, it looks like Boneng got off the first shot, and that is actually quite huge, because that will mean that he will probably be able to take this out. He's even microing a little bit, as you see there. That's very, very good job. He was still shooting with 1 boat in the back of this, or actually was the misclick. I believe he was still shooting with 1 boat in the back of this, and the other one was moving forward, so that kind of the caravels had to keep aiming at the boat that was moving forward, while the other one in the back was still doing damage. However, it's now still 2 caravels versus, now it's 1 versus 1, and that means that the galley will lose this battle, the caravel will win it. But Boneng can make 1 more caravel, of course, in the back galley. We have to move actually the screen to the town center, because there's a huge battle happening over there. Calvis no, he doesn't. Boneng doesn't pull him back on time. But there we see indeed that this is just a huge match with Janissary Abyss guns. If you micro it correctly, he already uses Minuteman, of course, but you can still deal with this quite easy. You see it, he's just attack moving his way back, trying to stay out of range. But the crossbowmen really should have to focus on the Janissaries, so that the cavalry will do good versus the Abyss guns left. But the micro is very nice from Boneng, just moving his way back, running back, kiting the hussars. Actually not kiting because they're close, but moving back and trying to take as less damage as possible. And there you see he will just deal with the hussars, no problem. So much damage from the Janissaries, Abyss guns, and even some Minutemen still alive there. And now he's just gonna try to stay out of range even more. Musketeers being mixed in from Calvis. Don't really like that. Now Boneng aged up, and this is just actually game over here. He made a new galley, as you see there, and the new galley is able to take out the caravel of Calvis. That means that he has complete sea control again, and he can secure his sea and thus his resource income there. There we have good game from Calvis. He kind of knows it's over now. So yeah, well played by Boneng. I don't really like this rush, as I was actually hinting on from minute 1. This setup with the options that Boneng has for him, and that's what it's really about. It's a strategy game, so it's about what options do you have, what option does your opponent have, how can you adapt to it, how can you change if he does X, if he does Y, how can you go from there. You see that Boneng made a nice little wall there. I don't really like walls, but yeah, it's really good, as you see there, to delay your opponent even more. And of course he won't be able to take out the docks at this point. But then, as I explained, this rush really had a low success rate from the start, and actually Boneng played it out well. And I believe Calvis kind of went in a little bit too far, being trapped with Janissaries coming out from the wrecks, and also Minutemen in the back popping out at the right time. He shouldn't have done it like that. However, yeah, this Expo Pike rush is just really hard to pull it off, and in my opinion, not the best strategy. So, but then again, it's really hard on this map. I would probably go for the trading post into Fortress, going from there, but yeah, it is really hard. So Ottomans in New England is kind of fucked up. So anyway, Boneng now evening it up 2-2-2. So it's even there. A lot of people, including myself, expected actually that Boneng would win this one. But still, so far it's looking quite close. But that is of course also partly because of Boneng, yeah, kind of doing weird stuff, in my opinion. And that means that, yeah, he doesn't play. He plays good, of course. He's a very good player, but going for some of the weird strategies kind of gives your opponent a few more chances to take the game and maybe even the series. So he has to be careful. However, it is a BO7, so that means that the first 1 to 4 will win. So of course nothing is wrong. Nothing is going wrong yet. If he just wins these 2 games. No, but he, both of them can still go to 4. So, by the way, guys, I am restreaming the stream of Shmras. There has been some issues with the pings there. Not sure what was going on there. I was green to Boneng, but red to Shmras and Calvis. Not sure what happened there. Usually I don't have issues. I'm not sure if it's me or them. Anyway, that was probably going to lag too much, or it was actually lagging already a bit. So I am now restreaming his stream to provide you guys with English commentary, and of course, as you know from me, English insight into game strategies, gameplay, and what is going on, rather than just descriptive stuff. So more to improve your own gameplay as well. So 5th map going to be on Yukon, and there. Oh, yeah, okay, we are back. It is going to be Iroquois, Boneng Iroquois versus Calvis Ottoman, a matchup that we've seen quite a lot of times in this tournament. Of course, these civilizations are considered the strongest civilizations in the tournament, actually in Age of Empires so far at this point. And if Calvis doesn't really feel confident in Iroquois Mirror, which I can understand, Boneng plays it pretty well, then the other option is to go for Ottomans and go from there. On this matchup, it is going to be favoring the Iroquois a little bit more. I feel the Ottomans can go for a fast fortress, but that is really, really risky. You can go for a fast fortress with the tower, as we kind of saw him doing in the Great Plains match. However, I feel that Boneng was more, it was more the mistake of Boneng that he lost the match than the success of the strategy from Calvis, so to say. Both of them going for a trading post, of course, very standard there. That means that Boneng, yes, he will get a trading post up, as you see on the minimap, right before the Travar comes along. So he will get the first XP a little bit earlier than Calvis. On the other hand, as soon as the trading post Travar finishes his route there, he's going to immediately pop up again on the first trading post on the left side, so it won't be that late for Calvis for his first 3 villagers. But a little bit of an advantage by Boneng there, small advantage. The Ottomans can go for a fast fortress with a tower to have a little bit more of a defense, but I really, really don't like it for his Iroquois, to be honest. I think if the Iroquois plays it correctly, he should even be able to take it, especially on this map with the control that he has. Especially if you're also mixing Kanyas, because if the Ottomans ages up, you can take out the trading post as well. That means that no more shipments, or actually less shipments from him. Also, what he has available as soon as he ages up is kind of 8 Janissaries. Well, your hyenas can deal with that. 2 cannons. If you mass enough Kanyas, which you should have definitely set up by then with 600, etc., you will be able to deal with it also. For Hussars, no problem with Kanyas, some Tomahawks and hyenas. 5 Abbas guns. That can be sometimes a hard thing for you. However, if you have enough kanyas mixed in, that won't be a problem either. So actually, then it comes down to the fact that Boneng has to play, Calvis has to play it right with timing it out, with having Janissaries and Minutemen available when, for example, cannons are there, or when Abbas guns come from your hometown. But if you really pressure the Ottomans and keep surrounding his town center, I feel that you just can't do much as Ottomans there, if Iroquois makes the right units and times it out right. Yukon, as you know, is a map that, regarding balance, the food looks a little bit better for Calvis, although actually the first hunt near the training post that you see on the minimap is good, but it doesn't have a second hunt. The second hunt is really, really far. However, Boneng's second hunt is quite close, so actually, sorry, it looked better for Boneng. Also, of course, Boneng has the option to take the map with a warhead that he can make, or from a Trava, so that means that he will have an advantage, an additional advantage. He picked up 160 HP, Boneng that is, and some small treasures from the guys, 40 coin, 40 wood, 60 food there. He converted one of these bears, a second actually already, and then of course took out the treasure. And now he's gonna go for 95 wood or 80 food. You have to see what this treasure is on Yukon. I believe it's 80 food here. Of course, there are a lot of good treasures, some even considered OP there on this map, which you can take with your Iroquois hero, having so much HP, the ability to convert guardians, to have them help you fight the other guardians, and really get a big boost from it. You saw also that he was using his bear first to attack. I like that move a lot. That means that you will save the HP on your hero, because that's really important. Your hero is a strong unit in the battle, a good attack, good HP to absorb a lot of damage, and most importantly, having the option to boost your units, 10% HP boost to every unit surround in that area. And also the crack shot available to damage one of your opponent's units. And then he got 80 food, indeed it is. And Boneng aged up also, a little bit faster than Calvis, but that is actually normal in this case. But there's Calvis, just 10 seconds or so later. Calvis did manage to find the warhead Trava there. Actually it's a Trava, but it will be converted into a warhead. Okay, quite defensive, not that far out. That is interesting to me. I would have liked to see it maybe a little bit further, like for example beyond the gold mine instead of behind the gold mine. But still, okay, it's quite a decent position. He does really secure the hunts in the gold mine there in this area, so that's okay. 2 idle villages there, as Shmras points out. Actually, Shmras is doing a very good job of observing his game. He points out most, if not all, of the important things there. So it's easier for me to just sit here and talk then. As you know, by, for example, StarCraft, you always have an observer available. You only have to talk about the things as a caster. And otherwise you have to point out and look at the minimap and things yourself with the mouse while casting and thinking up of some story to tell. We see a second training post coming down in 600 wood. I really like this. If Boneng would then go not for fast fortress actually, but for pressure in the second age. However, fast fortress or semi-fast fortress actually it is still an option for Iroquois, because he can still fight with Ottomans in the third age. However, I would really prefer on this map especially taking map control in the second age, denying your opponents from resources, especially hunts here, and just fight it out from there. So what he could be doing is going for a trading post boom, as you see there, 3 trading posts, then adding a stable as well, and then really massing from there, because the 3 trading posts allows you to get your 5 villages out early as well. The Ottoman is not going to rush you as he scouted over there. Oh, there you have 5 villas out, so you're going to really do a little bit of harassment. But you can get your economy really on track, shipping 5 villages, 600 wood, getting that really going, and then from there on just make all units and ship all units, and then you can really pressure hard on the Ottomans. We saw that Calvis didn't age up with the tower, by the way. He aged up with 400 wood. It is really the best for a setup. However, on this map, yeah, it's gonna be really. Oh, he's going for 700 wood, so he might be going for Abbas gun Janissaries. That is of course a very standard way to play the Iroquois here. But because of his earlier age up, I thought he might be doing something similar. Going Ottoman Janissary Abbas gun is definitely a really good option versus Iroquois, probably the best option in fact. Because you're not vulnerable to any loose of map control or surroundings when you are reaching the third age or stuff like that. You can really battle them. Janissaries popping out there, and of course they will be able to do decent damage as explained as long as they are in range, so the hyenas are pulling back there. A little bit of town center fire, but not too much, because he still wants to gather some resources between the units. And do we have artillery foundry up? Not yet. Some tomahawks there added, of course. Not only does Ottoman have 3 resources available, although it would be very weird if he would ship it that early, because he really needs to ship his resources early to get this huge spam out. But he also has, of course, the additional siege damage that tomahawks bring you. I'm not sure what the 2 hyenas are doing. This is again throwing them away, because there's town center fire and you're in range of janissaries. And if you see there janissaries 20 range attack, that is quite okay. So then you should not be be using your hyenas there. Okay, he did age up. Sorry, then I missed his 700 coin there. He aged up with 700 coin first, and he shipped 700 wood after to get the the better setup ready, because he needs, of course, to upgrade his janissaries. Interesting. I missed the 700 coin. Then we were probably looking at something else with the stream of Shmras here. But that means, of course, house is going up. You can get your janissaries upgraded, and since he's not going to add a second trading post, because all trading posts are taken by Boneng, he will also, of course, have additional wood available to maybe add a stable even or something like that. But Boneng is actually in a weird position now, because okay, he already upgraded his janissaries. So what we have here is soon a janissary is going to be shipped and then 2 cannons. But Boneng did not take out the trading post of Calvis. So Calvis still has the additional shipments coming in all the time. Curious to see what Iroquois will do from here. He has 2 options actually. One is going third himself, the other is going for a stable, as you see there, and going for a lot of units, just massing, actually kind of outmassing the Ottomans. And as soon as you deal with the cannons, then the Mamelukes are still hard, but you should be able to deal with the Mamelukes as well from there. He has quite a good economy, 3 trading posts still, and I believe he had a market, but I'm not sure we caught it on stream there. But if he has a market, of course, 5 villages shipped, and maybe even 4 villages in his deck, not sure there, but 3 trading posts as well. They are upgraded, as you saw there. The Travar was upgraded to stagecoach, so he definitely has a good economy behind this. Mixing Kanyas now. I believe that was still a shipment from the hometown, yes, and there you have the first 4 Kanya being made from the stable. He has some tomahawks, of course. You have to be careful with the Ottomans. He could still be shipping Mamelukes, but the most standard option would be going for cannons, and there you have it, 2 cannons out. Going for a trading post. Boneng really can't go into this yet. He really needs some more of an army, so I would really sacrifice this trading post. Wait for him to come to the second trading post where your warhead is also located. That means that you will have warhead fire doing damage. You will have an additional fast shipping point and reinforcement point, because you can make units from there as well. And now he's trying to go from the back. That's very nice. Trying to pick up the cannons from the back, and that was big mistake by Calvis, out of position, and actually maybe he went in a little bit too early as well. I believe he shipped the cannons before the 8 janissaries, not 100% sure about that. This actually is just game over. Losing the cannons like that with all the infantry that the Iroquois has in the back of this. And I really like the choice, as I said before, that Boneng is staying to the second age and just mass and get map control and beat the Ottomans there. So what has the Ottomans left? Yeah, Mamelukes later on, but he loses his whole army here, and that actually is just game over. Losing your cannons like that without doing any damage, maybe got off 1 shot, but without doing enough damage, I should say, losing your cannons like this is just going to cost you the game. He's still doing an okay job trying to micro his way back to his town center, but he lost so much, and he has not really food available, as you see as well there. So yeah, this should be game over actually. The tomahawks are being put in melee mode. That's a nice micro move, as you see there. They are put in melee mode because they will slow down the army of Calvis, while the hyenas in the back will still fire a lot, and they ships 5 resources. Kind of a desperation move, to be honest, because he needs some units out, but it's not really the best shipment at this point. Of course, he can wait a little bit, but Boneng has Kanyas out, Boneng has a stable out, so he will definitely be able to deal with any raids without a problem. It can be a nice addition to the hyenas, but I believe some more tomahawks should be mixed in anyway, because what do you expect from the Ottoman at this point? More janissaries, but you already have enough hyenas. So either the hussar shipment indeed, or the Mamelukes, so you will need to mix in some more tomahawks. So you see that Boneng is going to retake his 3rd trading post there. Of course, he has the resource, he has the economy. The scores are quite close, don't be deceived there. I definitely give an advantage to the Iroquois. Boneng has, Calvis has a decent mass still, but if you take a look at the exact units, then you see that the advantage goes to Boneng with having the counter units to what Calvis has. So in score there he has good mass because he has good score because he has the army mass, but actually he has not the best composition to deal with the army of Boneng. Oh, there the Kanyas looks like they're gonna be caught off guard there. They were just idle for a moment and they're just gonna fight. Nice micro there, as you see, pulling the low HP Kanya to the back and doing that again, and also Calvis doing that. It's always in these cavalry battles going on. Shmras now pointing out with his mouse. No more pulling back so far, but of course 5 Kanyas not gonna win 5 Hussars. 5 Hussars will be better. Especially if you have the if you don't have the boost from the hero. And now he's gonna try. He took down the Iroquois hero. That's of course very nice, but he's gonna try to take down the trading post there. But of course Boneng won't just allow that, being Iroquois on this map, saying like, "Hey, that's my trading post," and there he's gonna come in. He definitely. Oh, there you have some tomahawks in the back. I was about to say he definitely has to mix in some tomahawks, but now he has enough hyenas to just fend off this army of Janissaries from Calvis. And only of course a few Hussars left. Actually that trade, it's interesting because actually that trade was quite okay for Boneng. He lost his Kanyas, but he took out like 3.5 Hussar, and that means that when Calvis wants to push in on Boneng's army, he has only 2.5 or 2 Hussars, 2.5 kind of left. And that means that the big mass that Boneng will have will deal with these Hussars quite fast, and that means that then there will be no cavalry available and only Janissaries again. So taking this kind of trade, which was the trade was, if you look at it like from from a direct point of view, then the trade was not the best for Boneng. But taking the longer game into account, dealing with the Hussars at that point was actually quite good. He took out the trading post. Calvis took out the trading post of Boneng with this, so Boneng is now setting up a kind of fortification there, an additional war hut. And yeah, Calvis is just really waiting for his Mamelukes, I assume, to join his army before he is gonna push out. Oh, we have 5 Abbas guns being shipped there. Okay, that's really gonna help out as well. Oh, Boneng is gonna raid, but Calvis is already waiting there and deflecting that right away, taking out a little bit HP of the Kanya there. So Calvis, he should be really waiting for his Mamelukes before he can push out, but actually the longer this game goes, the better it is for the Iroquois, because he still has a better part of the map available, and of course there's the resources. Calvis did reclaim a little bit of his part of the map there, as you see on the bottom where he was gathering the food. He really needs his food to get out his Janissary mass. But yeah, after that there is no more food available for him. And we see also that Boneng made a little bit of a wall on the left bottom side of the map, kind of preventing Calvis going to the other side of the map where there are still resources available. And a really big mass. He's now gonna revive his hero, there he did it, to get this infantry boost again. Yeah, he could still be aging in the back of this because he already dealt with the cannons, so he doesn't really have to be afraid of that much of a push except for the Mamelukes, but the Mamelukes is something you can really deal with as Iroquois, I feel. Look at the mass that he has out there. I would prefer for him to just mass a little bit more and then wait for Calvis to push out, or just push out on him instead of aging, because the moment that you age, Calvis will definitely push out onto you with the 5 Abbas guns and the Mamelukes that will come anytime soon. And then you will lose the map control for sure, and if you keep massing, then you will just have actually a very good army to deal with the Ottoman's army at this point. So I'd probably say that that's the best option from here. It's not like aging up gives Iroquois cannons or something. It gives you the skirmishers, which are nice, gives you the dragoons that are nice, but you can still deal with this army in the second age as well. As you see, almost also now 137 score versus 164. So who's 136? No, yeah, indeed, 30 score advantage. Okay, and Kanya raid coming in there onto the gold mine, and they will definitely, if he sees it, but he's not paying attention there, otherwise he will definitely kill one villager, but now already the Hussars are coming in. However, there's 2 Hussars, and 4 Kanya will deal with that. Okay, it's 3 Hussars, and it is 3 Hussars and 5 Mamelukes, and that means of course the Kanyas have to run. So as expected, Mamelukes, good that Boneng scouted it, and now actually he just has to wait. A 3rd ward even coming up there, and some more walls as well. And actually the ball is now into Boneng, or how you say it in English, the saying. Boneng has to make something happen. Calvis has to make something happen. Boneng can just wait and sit back with his warriors, with the defensive posture here, making up a big mass of tomahawks, hyenas and stuff. And Calvis, he used 2 cannons, he used his Abbas guns, he used his Mamelukes, so he used all his best shipments. So what can he do from here? Not much economy left, all the best shipments are gone, so he has to really make something happen now, and he has to happen has to make something happen fast. Otherwise, Boneng is just gonna smile and sit back and take the game from there. The 4 Kanyas are still raiding, but we see that now Janissaries and melee mode are gonna deal with that. Boneng not paying attention probably because of the big battle going on, but he now is gonna pull them back after losing 1 Kanya there. So he takes down the wall there. 3 warheads shooting, and I hope they are being microed on the Mamelukes as well, because warheads of course deal additional damage to cavalry. The Abbas guns really do a good job, but there's just so much mass from the Iroquois that he should definitely be able to deal with this. Some tomahawks should be put in front, and yeah, Calvis sees that he kind of can't engage in this. 2 warheads shooting because the 3rd one is a little bit in the back, but so much of an army there. What can Calvis really do versus that? Actually, the best option for him would probably be to go towards the town center or that gold mine, so that he would not be fighting near the warheads, so that the warheads wouldn't be doing any damage, and of course it would not be a fast reinforcement point. He may be waiting for 5 spahis, sorry, to really maximize the output of his mercenary arsenal, and then kind of charge in from that, because if you have 5 more spahis, this army will definitely be a lot stronger, because if you have 5 Mamelukes, it will take some time to take them out, but you can take them out. But if you have also behind 5 Mamelukes 5 spahis doing damage, you will have a lot of area and big damage dealers in front as the Ottomans. That is going to be harder for the Iroquois. On the other hand, waiting for these spahis, I'm not sure how long it will take, will of course allow the Iroquois to mass up even more of an army, and of course from here he will only mass tomahawks, because he already has the hyenas out. He doesn't really need cavalry because he doesn't make any Abbas guns, Ottoman that is. So he just can make a big mass of tomahawks using these 2nd age cards. I'm not sure, we didn't see his deck being brought up on stream, but I'm pretty sure he has at least 1 card, if not the 2 or 3 cards available for the tomahawks. And then if he clicks on them, oh no, he didn't. If he clicks on tomahawks, we can see the HP and attack, but with of course the hero boost as well, and you have just such a crazy attack of such a crazy army of units there. And the tomahawks, no, it was the hero again. I really would like to see if he used any cards on tomahawks. I really assume that he used at least 1 card, but I expect 2 or maybe even 3. Some Iroquois don't go for the 3 cards. Okay, he ships 1k coin. Okay, he's adding artillery foundry. That's a very good choice. He didn't get he got the Mamelukes by just gathering the coin then instead of shipping 1k. That's why it also was a little bit delayed. But shipping 1k coin will really allow him to make quite some Abbas guns here, and that means that Calvis will still have a quite nice army. And he's making cannons. Okay, actually that's probably the better choice. Sorry there, my bad. Versus such a big mass, and having of course the Janissaries out, 2 cannons is what's really gonna be hard for the Iroquois. And that means that Boneng probably wished he would have pushed out earlier, instead of now dealing with the 2 cannons. Of course, if you have 2 cannons, then if you would be in the 3rd age, you can deal with it better because you have dragoons. On the other hand, if you have so much of mass there as Boneng, no, as Calvis, as Ottomans, you will have a good mass to protect your cannons. So this will be hard for Boneng still. He is up ahead in score by quite a bit, so he definitely has the army advantage still. But he really needs to try to do another nice move with his Kanyas coming from the back and dealing with these cannons. But Calvis can just let his cannons do the work and take down the warheads, with his army just protecting it. And adding even more cannons, suppose there would be like 4 cannons out, that would really be scary for Boneng, because then you have so much firepower. And there he decides to age up indeed, so he can at least upgrade his units, and they will get a lot stronger of course. And also, there we have it, 4 cannons by the way, and then also he can add musket riders to deal with his cannons, 5 cannons even. Okay, being very well protected by Janissaries, so this is still hard for Boneng. That's why I would really have liked to see him push out earlier, to be honest. These cannons will take out the warheads without a problem, as you see there. The 2nd warhead was going down, and now the 3rd will go down in a little bit. 5 cannons, of course, doing insane damage. More Kanyas being made. Of course, Iroquois doesn't have something like 2 cannons in the 3rd age to deal with cannons, so you really have to get good positioning, spread your units out to not take too much area damage from cannons, try to come from the back with some Kanyas, use your musket riders in front as well, because they have bonus damage, of course, as being dragoons, bonus damage versus cannons. But he's gonna lose a lot of his base and a lot of houses as well. So I'm not sure what he will do from here. He's gonna remake something there, of course, because he needs the houses to have his population out. And now there's only a 40 score advantage left for 30, sorry, 33 scores, 30 actually, 26 by now, score advantage. I would really like to see him try to maneuver his cavalry to the back to really, he's now doing so. He upgraded his Kanya, he upgraded his Tomahawks and ears, I believe, as well. He shouldn't show it. Okay, he's a little bit more. Okay, where is Calvis going again? Oh my god, no. He makes the same mistake. He's going with the Janissaries all the way around, not protecting his cannons. He's doing the best as he can with his Mamelukes and his Hussars. But okay, the Kanyas are taking down Mamelukes instead of cannons. Okay, there you finally go. Kanyas being targeted on cannons, and oh my god, such a huge mistake. Calvis might have been able to take this game because of Boneng waiting so long, but now Boneng will definitely take it. He takes out all the cannons. He lost his hero. Of course, no more boost there. Good that Calvis took out the hero, but you see now that so many Hyenas and Tomahawks still left, and also some Kanyas there. Finally, Hyenas are going to be microed on the Janissaries, not on the Mamelukes anymore, but yeah, this is just... How... Okay, my god. One thing that you have to do is protect your cannons, and that's actually the only thing that you have to do, because... why would you move out with Janissaries so far out when you have 5 cannons who can do an insane amount of damage? You don't need your Janissary to do the damage. The cannons are the thing that will do the damage here. Unlike, for example, if you have 2 cannons out or none, then you really have to use your Janissaries. But with 5 cannons, you only have to sit near your cannons and wait there and just let the cannons do the damage and protect them very well so that the Kanyas can't come close to it. If you would have sit near his cannons, using Mamelukes and some of the Janissaries in melee mode, then the Kanyas would not be able to cut to the cannons, and the Kanyas would not be able to take them out like this. So a really huge mistake in micro by Calvis. Otherwise, I still think that Boneng could have taken it, but it would have been a lot closer, and he has of course a better economy. I hope he shows the village account here for a second. He has of course a much better economy, Boneng, at this as Iroquois. And still 2 or 3 training posts, but it would be a lot closer than it was now. So yeah, that means that Boneng will take it now 3-2. So if he wins the next series, then he will advance to the semi-finals, and Calvis will be out. However, being this quite a close series and even the last game being quite close, Calvis might be able to take another game here. And then he would even it out to 3-3 there. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm not sure it was out micro, to be honest, Neuron. He actually was just a huge mistake of... he did go for going to the back with his Kanyas. That was of course nice positioning, but he made just a huge mistake of letting his cannons go like this. And the other trees might have been a little bit of a problem there. On the other hand, you should not have moved around like that, or at least split your army in 2, and then make sure that you won't have all the Janissaries moving out of position, even if it was because of bad padding from trees, but just having some of them at least stay close and stay put onto the cannons. But okay, Boneng is on 3-2 versus Calvis though. So yes, this is the third quarterfinal. We've had some previous quarterfinals. Calvis, Gaia won that 4-3, also quite close. Nagayumi lost 4-3 versus H2, so H2 won 4-3 versus Nagayumi. Haven't seen it yet, but it was streamed like midnight EU time. And then we have now Boneng versus Calvis, and the last one is going to be later tonight. After this one, I think actually that's going to be Goodspeed taking it up versus Shmras. Also a very nice match. I hope everything would be okay then with the ping again. Because I'm not sure what was happening now, but I had a good ping to Boneng, but not a good ping to Shmras for some reason. They're both from Japan. And Boneng sometimes has some router issues, so he's now restarting his router or relogging ESO, I see, so that he can join the game again.
Oh, hello. Hello, Umeu.
There he gets the invitation. Of course, for everyone who just tuned in, my name is Venividivici. You probably have seen me before casting off this tournament. You can also find on my YouTube the previous videos if you haven't checked it out already. Very nice games there so far. And of course, it only gets better and better with the better players remaining. And of course, not only BO5, but BO7, BO9, and even BO11 in the finals to bring you as many good games as we can. I am currently watching Shmras' stream and restreaming it with English commentary for you guys because of some issues with this ping of Shmras and mine, or to Japan or whatever what was happening there. So 5th, no 6th map gonna be Yucatan, and if there is gonna be the need for a last 7th map, it is gonna be Painted Desert. But now Yucatan. That is of course a C map again, and we see then Boneng picking his Russia. Of course he won with Ottoman and Iroquois twice in a row, and that means that he can't play any of these civilizations again in this game. That means that he will have to stick to a more normal civilization, so to say. Okay, he's going for Portuguese. 2 town centers, 3 town centers if you go for a fast fortress might be a nice option, and of course the option to go for C as well. Interesting, I haven't seen much Portuguese from Boneng at all, and also in the tournament. It looks like Calvis is gonna stick to Ottomans. He plays them quite well, and of course it is strong civilization. However, Portuguese versus Ottomans is quite interesting. I mean, I would definitely give the advantage to Ottoman, but Portuguese can do a few things.
ボネングさんの処理が決まりました。皆さん、ボネングさんの処理が決まりました。ボネングさんの処理が決まりました。
Also, by the way, now that I think of it,
ポルトガルは無理でしょう。スペインはさすがに辛いだろうな。
Yeah, I'm indeed restreaming Shmras because of some issues with the Japanese. I had a good ping with Boneng from Japan, but not with Shmras and Calvis for some reason. And indeed, it happened twice in a row, but that's not. I'm not sure if it's really outmicroed by. The first thing was really good positioning by Boneng, but also it's just bad protection from Calvis, and that is. I'm not sure if you can call it outmicro rather, for example, making a huge mistake by Calvis. So we're gonna have Ottomans versus Portuguese on Yucatan here. Being a C map, we might see Boneng going for some kind of C boom again, with a very defensive setup, with of course an additional town center that you can get as Portuguese. On the other hand, Calvis, yeah, I would assume that he's going for a fast fortress. He really likes his fast fortress, and to be honest, it is a good strategy. You get a good shipment there, and you can get good units out. I haven't seen this matchup a lot, but you can of course, to briefly go over the options, Ottomans can still go for a Abyss Gun Janissary push with the 2 training posts that you can get easily on this map, is still a valid option. However, the Portuguese can go for a fast fortress with the town centers that he can get. Even if he loses one town center, he still gets a second one from the age up, of the third one actually, which would then be the second one. And then he has of course the Middleman available if he has it in his deck. Middleman card very strong. He has Castadors available. They're going to organ guns versus anything from the Ottoman. On the other side, the Ottoman can also go for a fast fortress, as I said before, and then play it out from there with Janissary cannon at first, and then mixing in some Abyss guns probably later on. And of course, well, actually Janissaries, cannons, and probably Mamelukes is going to be the path of choice that you're going to take as Ottomans. But it's really going to be interesting to see if Boneng is going to go for a sea boom or just more like a standard fast fortress, and try to play it out with Castador Dragoon versus what the Ottoman is going to bring to you in the Third Age. This map is quite balanced. It has a lot of hunts. If you take a look here, you see that only 2 mines for Calvis, and actually 3-4 mines very close for Boneng. However, they are quite in front, and Calvis has his mine in the back. That's because the town center of Boneng spotted spawned a lot in the back of this map, so that's not the best thing for him. That means that he's also further away from the additional resources on this map. He has 2 hunts available, actually 3. Or is it the berries? I think it's 3 near his base, as you see on the minimap, but Calvis has also 3, and he has a little bit easier access to the other ones on the map, being that his town center is a little bit further on the map, not so far in the back. Shmras is now pointing out some nice treasure still alive. Of course, that treasure that he was just pointing out on the left side, which is 255 food or something, you can get it alone. If you have a full HP hero, or even like 450 HP hero, you can get it if you shot one and make sure you stand exactly in the middle of 2 of the other guardians, so that you will have that village is probably going to build a doctor, kind of trying to hide it. But if you stand there in the middle of these 2 guardians, you will make sure they will both do melee damage to you instead of range damage, and that means that their damage will be less to you, and that means that you will be able to take out the 2 guardians in melee while you shot one, and then you can take out the treasure with 1 hero, if you micro it correctly. And there we have indeed the dock coming up from Boneng, kind of hiding it to not let Calvis know what he's up to. So a sea boom again. Of course, you have to keep in mind you have 2 seas here, 2 water options. There is a decent amount of resources available, not as much as on New England, kind of similar to Saguenay in fact, but then if you would really want to go for it, you can go for sea on the other side, having of course access to twice the amount of resources available in the sea regarding food and gold, and then together it's actually kind of quite similar to what New England offers you. The disadvantage of this map for going sea is that you, as the other guy, you can make a lot of towers on the coast and kind of, as you see here, cover a lot of the sea, because there's not much space left from the coastline towards the edge of the map. So you can't really, if you make a lot of towers there, of course it's quite an investment, but if you make 1 or 2 towers and split them up a bit, you have quite a good range over the sea where you kind of prevent your opponent from gathering anything with the boats, as you can see here now, the distance from the coast to the edge of the map. Calvis is going for a second trading post here. He aged up probably with the 400 wood. And there we have Boneng aging up with 400 wood as well. Of course he will need to have a Rexor stable sooner or later. A very defensive second town center, of course obvious, to protect the sea and his base and have them close together, because if you go too forward with the town center while you are booming on sea, then it's of course too risky and you might lose your town center for actually nothing, or not much at least. I would really like to see what Calvis was doing. I think he ends up with a 400 wood, seeing a second trading post going down so fast. And then I assume he's going for a seeing no forward villages, no forward base. I assume he's going for Janissary, for fast fortress, Janissary cannon pressure from there. 3 docks even, yeah, Portuguese is also quite nice on the sea. They of course also have the schooner's cart. That boat is going to be stuck, by the way. The other 2 have to move for that boat to be moved out. 4 docks even, oh my god. That's really a huge sea boom. I'm not sure why you would go 4 docks. I would actually go 2 docks on one side and 2 docks on the other side, to be honest. But 4 docks on one side will allow you to spam a lot of boats quickly, but then at some point, if you take a look at the minimap, you can maybe not see it that well, but of course restreaming Shmras' stream there, so the quality is not as it usually is. But that means that you can spam a lot of boats, but you have at some point too many boats, and then you have no more resources available. And you can't just transport the boats from from this sea to the other sea. So not sure if I really like 4 docks. I think I would prefer 3 or 2, so split them up on both sea sides. Also, of course, it makes you less vulnerable, because if he ships the ships on one side, you still have resources on the other side available, and you can of course change your flag to where he ships his boats. Yeah, so Calvis 2 trading posts. We see that both of them are now moving towards this nice treasure that was left off early on. Both of them scouted it, and now it's the question who's going to take it. Okay, Boneng is going to work on that, and Calvis will see that, of course. But actually it means Calvis can't really take it so far, because if he's going to go for it, shoot one and go melee into the other one, then Boneng will immediately come back, and unless he's too far, he will come back and shoot the hero of Calvis. If he's not going to die, then he might even steal the treasure. However, if Boneng is now going to go with his hero towards Calvis' base, as soon as Boneng's hero is reaching Calvis' base, Calvis can go for a treasure and have enough time, but we see that Boneng's hero is already returning. And again, the typical trademark Boneng wall going up there, so that it's not easy to siege any dock there. Securing his docks there, and of course securing his sea boom. 5 Janissaries being made, I assume, not being shipped. I think he's aging, but this... Okay, there he is. I was about to say it was quite close, but late, but there you go. And you see he's now 3rd age, that means his hero is better than the hero of Boneng. So he's also trying to melee the hero of Boneng to slow it down, attack it, and take it down there. I expect actually Boneng to again age up relatively fast as he did with Russia on Saguenay, to make sure that he's not too far behind and has access to the 3rd age shipments. Of course an additional town center as well to have a very nice setup. Calvis aged up with the 4 hussars there. Of course always nice to scout the map a little bit more, take a treasure as well, raid a little bit, although there's not much raiding to do here, because Boneng is such a defensive position and he's not coming out of the map. As you see on the minimap, Boneng has nothing available close to him anymore. Of course he doesn't have much of the map, but all the resources that he has are now near his town centers, and if he wants to go for any gold mine or hunt there on the map, it's really too far for him and he really can't go into that. But as you see here, 2 town centers available, and there it is up with the 3rd one being put in the back. I would actually maybe like to see it on the left side, near the berries, so that you have a very close point to the berries, because the sea is already well protected by 2 other town centers, so you really don't need to put it there. On the other hand, maybe you thought it should be closer to the gold mine there. Anyway, 2 town centers firing, and he pulls out Meerdman also, so he will definitely be able to take down some of these units here from Calvis. Not sure why Calvis is fighting this, he should just be running away, but he prefers to fight this rather than run away and let Meerdman degenerate. You see that Calvis now took that 220 fruit or coin, maybe it's coin actually, I'm not sure, on the left side, and there have 2 cannons on the way as well. He took out the Meerdman by taking some fire. Actually he has to wait for his cannons anyway, so why would you not just wait for your cannons and then fight the Meerdman when they're on low HP, and by that way losing less HP of your Janissaries. The sea is kind of all occupied by now with this huge 4 dock spam from Boneng. That means that you now have 4 docks kind of users there, because you're not going to spam many more boats, because they will just be idle at some point, or benefiting a little bit more early on, but then having at some point like 50 boats which are all idle because there are no more resources available. Because the food of course goes out, degenerates on sea when you gather it, same like hunts. However, the mines are infinite on sea, so you have always the option to have some of your boats left on the whales there to gather a coin mine for an infinite amount of time. Another wall coming up just in time actually to really slow down Calvis a little bit more and give Boneng a little bit more time. We saw that Boneng also aged up, he is now in the 3rd age as well. And this is buying him a lot of time to save his town center a little bit longer, while these cannons are working on these walls. And actually, as we know, or as you should know, the Portuguese has 8 castadors, dragoons, organ guns available, but they also have 5 Mamelukes available, similar to the Ottomans. So I actually think that given that he has the sea, he might gather a lot of coin from the sea here and go for Mamelukes, combined with, for example, Meerdman popping out of a town center and maybe even another shipment. That could be an option, and Calvis maybe expecting this is going back now, because he knows of course Mamelukes are an option for the Portuguese, and if he's going to lose his cannons, then he's also going to lose his ability to push out. We see a stable coming up, so then he's going to mix some in dragoons, mixing in some dragoons there. Of course very standard, very nice as well, good option there. And yeah, Calvis, I'm not sure if he's scouted the sea by now. He should know that Boneng is on sea, otherwise he would have aged up earlier or have some more units out. And yeah, actually, even if you scouted, what can you do about it? Not much. He didn't choose to wall that part, as you see there. The hussars sneaking in, 5 dragoons being shipped, so no Mamelukes yet. He might have also chosen to go for the 5 dragoons rather than the Mamelukes, because Calvis was pulling back and not keeping on the pressure. And actually Calvis would make it a lot easier for him if he also waits for his Mamelukes. This push can work, but the Janissaries might not be able to really guard the cannons if Mamelukes come out. So if he would wait for Mamelukes himself, he would make it a lot easier for him for this push to really succeed. We have 2 dragoons being... Whoa, was that even all? He had 5 dragoons, where are the other ones? One villager there scouting the map. Okay, no, didn't see it. Actually, he lost 4 dragoons or so there. That's really sloppy from Boneng. Maybe he's gonna try to even up the score again to 3-3 to make it more exciting. I'm really not sure what he's doing. I think that Virgil is gonna build some more docks on this side, as trying to suggest earlier. The Calvis is scouting for it though. So we have to see, and he is scouting the whole coastline. So he will scout this. Oh no, he barely. Oh yeah, he does find it. Maybe he saw the dock being popped on the minimap, and then you see, of course, a red icon appearing there. So he is gonna deny the sea there, and this is interesting. He's now gonna take out the wall and the docks there from Boneng on this side of the map. I really don't like that, to be honest. On the one hand, you could say, let your army be useful and do something with it. But on the other hand, Boneng already made the ships, so he already has the ships out. He doesn't really need the docks. The only thing that Calvis could do from here is, for example, ship a frigate and trying to take out the whole sea of Boneng, and that could be an option. Shipping a frigate, using his 2 cannons to shoot down any boat that Boneng might ship here, and then deny Boneng from sea on this side. That could really be an option. I'll have to see what he's gonna do from here. Oh, the hero barely lives with 4 HP left. Imagine, by the way, if Boneng would pop out a frigate, kill the 2 cannons, make 1 more frigate himself, and then deal with his army. But no, he is going for the 4th age. Town center being now put a little bit outside his base. And maybe I would actually have even like to see it on the left side there, near the gold mine. Okay, there you see it. Oh yeah, that's the frigate of Calvis, in fact. That means that Boneng is gonna lose his complete sea, but Calvis also aged up to the 4th age. Okay, interesting. Both of them going from there, and that means, of course, Calvis has also access to the great bombards from both the factory and his shipment. That one dragoon is alive from the earlier skirmish and massacre, actually. So yeah, Touristars, they are still waiting for another villager or hero to build something, it looks like. Of course, the Touristars are not so useful in battle at this point, so you better use them to scout the map. And there we have 1 frigate being made, not shipped, being made. And it looks like he's gonna deal with this frigate, but oh, it looks like Calvis will get off the first shot, although his boat is a little bit damaged. These dragoons were now trying to take out cannons. Okay, Calvis aged probably with 2 cannons when he went to industrial. He now has 4 cannons available. And this dock is going down, and the dragoons are trying to do the best they can to damage these cannons. If you take a look, oh no, we have to wait for Shmras to take a look on the sea there to find out if the who is winning the frigate war there. It looks like Boneng wins it by a bit. However, he has to be really careful because, of course, if he comes too close to the coastline, the cannons of Calvis will take out his frigate. There you see it, the frigate going down. Okay, he is able to barely, yes, not. Okay, yeah, he got off 1 of the cannons of Boneng with nice Calvis with nice micro. And Calvis now upgraded his janissaries to guard janissaries. Very strong, of course, nice HP. It looked like, by the way, that Boneng had his dragoons with range. So that means that he either upgraded the arsenal, or, given the investment, he might have sent the range card in the 4th age. It gives your dragoons additional range. So it gives you 18 range, with the arsenal it gives you 20 range. Oh, sorry, this gives you 16. I think 18. With the arsenal, yeah, 18 with the arsenal 20. So that means that he will be better able to pick off any cannons because of the range dragoons have, and of course dragoons are counting with the cannons. You see there, that must have been a range card. Very nice move there from the line. 1 town center going down, 2 bombards being shipped from Calvis. That's going to really make it hard for Boneng because you have to deal with 3 cannons, or 2 cannons actually, and 2 bombards. So he's gonna go for dragoons now, trying to pick them off, but you really need something more. Okay, 2 heavy cannons, that is something very nice, of course. They can deal with janissaries for now, as you see they're huge damage inflicting, but also they can deal with the other cannons as well. The great bombards and the heavy cannon both have 28 range, I believe. And both, of course, will do a lot of damage to each other when they get a shot off. Okay, he's now gonna push out the Minutemen. This is very nice. You pull out the Minutemen first, so they will tank a lot of damage, and you will use your cannons in the back. I would really like him to see the cannons on the cannons layer. He's gonna use it. The Great Bombard should be focusing on the... Oh. He takes out one Great Bombard, and the other cannon of Calvis was too close, so he will take area damage, and he's also going to be taken out. And finally, the Great Bombard is focusing on the heavy cannon, but he will lose his Great Bombard in the process, you see there. He will now also lose his cannon. So, yeah, and that was really not the best engagement again for Calvis. I mean, in micro here again, in positioning, yeah, Boneng really does the better job there. And we see that he sneaked some villages in the meantime to the other side, and he's now going to go for a dog there. And yeah, from here on it's really looking good for Boneng. He has the whole sea available, and Calvis has no more cannons. He still has Mamelukes, but so has Boneng. He's now shipping a factory, so he might be making, yes indeed, the factory is not tasked to resources, so it is making more Great Bombards. And that is going to be really good, because Boneng has used his 2 cannon shipment already, his 2 heavy cannons. So he will now have to use dragoons and dragoons and dragoons and more dragoons to deal with the cannons of the Great Bombards that Calvis is now going to produce. So he's now going to go for a dragoon raid. Probably going to take out the 2 remaining hussars that were probably left on the map somewhere, as he has known from before, which took out the villager. Okay, he's just going for a villager raid, and of course with the range the dragoons have, they will do a good job in raiding as well. So annoying. 1 cannon still alive there, as you see, but of course Boneng is now shipping his factory, and he can also task his factory on making this heavy cannon instead of resource, because he has the whole sea available. So that could be a nice counter still, mixing in dragoons with the heavy cannons versus Janissaries and the Great Bombards of the Ottomans, because dragoons do just so good versus Janissaries. They do pretty good damage, have a lot of HP, have good range resistance. Janissaries have no bonus versus them, and of course their range will allow you to micro them very nicely versus Janissaries as well. Of course the Great Bombard is, I believe, a little bit of a better cannon than the heavy cannon, but if it comes down to a cannon battle, I believe it takes 3 shots for both of them to take out each other's cannon, so that way it doesn't matter that much. But versus infantry, I believe it's a little bit better. Okay, he's a little bit sloppy again with the dragoons moving past the trade route, so that means of course Calvis has line of sight there, and already had moved his Janissaries in position. But the longer this game goes, the more advantage Boneng has because of the sea, and the less units compared to Boneng Calvis will get out. And we see that even another defensive wall is going to come up there for Boneng. Actually surprised that he's not including the gold mine in that wall, so that he will be able to gather from the gold mine, but then again he has the complete sea control on both sides so far. So that's good for him. There we have 1 more Great Bombard, and indeed he's gonna push out. Maybe he should be waiting for 2 bombards, given the fact that he knew that he only killed 1 of the heavy cannons of Boneng and not 2. And with the dragoons running out, even if the dragoons would come from the back now, they would immediately snipe off this cannon, maybe lose 1 or 3 dragoons in the progress. But that's not a problem if you take out this heavy cannon, the Great Bombard from the Ottomans. So Calvis has really to be very careful protecting this cannon right now. Actually, I think he should be mixing in Abbas guns, to be honest, because just Janissaries are not going to cut it. The dragoons, with the range that they have, and the counter actually to cannons, because of course dragoons do bonus damage versus cannons, he will just be able to snipe them off, losing like 4 dragoons, maybe 3 dragoons. That's just not going to be enough Janissaries to really deal with it. He's now even going back to deal with the dragoon raid, and that is very nice of Boneng, because he's buying a lot of time with these dragoon raids. And you saw 1 shot from the Great Bombard, of course, doing 500 siege damage or so, so even first dragoons is doing decent damage, but Calvis just knows that it's a good game there. He can't really battle versus these dragoons, with dragoons raiding them all the time. He has no sea, that means no economy. If you see there, it's almost twice the resources for Boneng. And yeah, so Boneng takes this series 4-2. So a lot of guys still get their bets correct there. And yeah, Ottomans can't really do anything. He had to do some damage earlier, and with the sea and the heavy cannons that the Portuguese have and the dragoons at the 4th age, it's just not something you can fight into, and that's why you really need to have push in earlier, or yeah, maybe even pick another civilization. Well played by Boneng here, though.
押しにくいというようなことがオスマン側としては考えられるので、こういったことがある。
I saw that. Oh, Shmras is still pointing out there, by the way, that
というわけで、
wait here. That the economic advantage that Boneng has with all the resources that he gathers compared to just the 25 villages where the Ottomans was limited to because he didn't upgrade the villages, the church net, the church upgrade for the villages next.
ではこの実況を終わります。
Okay, so good job there by Boneng. Well played.